Nag-leave? May ganun talaga, no? Kapag natatawag yung pangalan, biglang left. May ganun. Laging ganun si April. Okay, ganito na lang. How are you, Emil? How are you, Emil?
I'm okay.
I'm okay. All right, next. Come on, continue.
How are you, Prince?
Again?
How are you, Prince?
Oh, Prince.
I'm okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Prince, what will you do?
I'm okay.
Prince. Prince, ikaw magsa-sum up ng ating lesson. Hindi ka nakikinig.
Ay,
Prince?
Siri din po, ma'am.
Again?
Siri din po.
Hindi. What will you say?
Okay lang po.
How are you? Kuya, ikaw talaga magsa-sum up ng ating lesson. Parang di ka nakikinig. Dali. Prince? Oh,
I'm
what will you
okay.
say? Yes, I know. We know that you are okay. We know that you are okay. All right. What about your classmate? Tell them, are you okay or how are you?
How are you reading?
Redin.
I'm fine.
I'm
How are
fine. Thank you. Yung pang Miss Universe naman. I'm
I'm
fine.
fine.
Thank you. Parang Philippines. Yung parang
Thank
ganun
you,
lang eh.
Philippines.
Alright. Hala, sinabi talaga yung Philippines. Maloka ako sa'yo, Redin, ha? Okay. Again, I'm fine. Thank you.
I'm fine. Thank you.
Again, one more time. One more time. Saying, so,
Fine. Thank
so,
you.
thank you.
You.
Hindi thank you, Hindi thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, one more time. I'm fine. Thank you.
I'm fine. Thank you.
Oh, kasi dati narinig ko, I'm fine. Thank you. That is, I'm fine. Thank you. Okay, what about the other? Ready in. What will you do?
How are you, Trisha?
I'm fine. Thank you.
Parang galit ha, Trisha. Yung may konting lambing naman. Lambingan mo naman.
I'm fine.
Okay, I'm fine.
I'm good.
Okay, I'm good. Thank you. All right, what
How
will
are
you
you,
say?
Bon?
Oh, Von.
How are you, Bon?
I'm fine. Thank you.
Ayan naman si Von eh. Thank you na naman eh.
No,
I'm fine.
I'm fine. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm fine. Thank you. Next, Von.
How are you, Enzo?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, again, Enzo, say thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, very good. Ang linaw ng mic ni Enzo. Okay, next, Enzo.
How are you, Heart?
How are you, Heart?
I'm fine. Thank you. How are you, Ricky May?
Sabihin nyo kapag nadoble na yung tawag sa inyo, ha? Ricky May? Ricky May? How are you, Ricky May? Heart said. Heart was asking you. Ricky May? Ay, mukhang may magsa-sum up sa atin, ah. May magsa-sum up ng ating lesson na. Ligtas yung iba ha. Ricky May. Ricky May? Say, I'm fine. Please open your mic. Ricky May, no. I cannot hear you. Ricky May, I cannot hear you. Please turn on your mic. Okay, let's go back with Ricky May. Hala siya. Oh, Ricky, how will you get performance for today if you do not have microphone or audio? Okay, Heart, could you please mention other student first? Heart, could you please mention other student first? Heart.
Wait po, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Let's see if you could still remember who among your classmates have been called already and who are not.
How are you, Ronel?
Ronel. Oh, wow.
I'm okay, thank you.
Thank you. Ronel, what will you say?
How are
Jeron?
you, Jeron?
Have you been called? Jeron.
I'm good, thank you.
What will you say?
How are you, Grace Joy?
Grace Joy. Okay, next.
Thank you. How
Miguel.
are you, Miguel?
Miguel. We cannot understand you. What did you say? Say, I can't, or I. Again, what did you say? I can't hear Grace. Or you didn't hear Grace? Say, I didn't hear Grace. Okay, say it. I didn't hear Grace. Okay, Grace. Miguel Zacarias didn't hear you. Please repeat.
How are you, Miguel?
I'm fine. What will you say, Miguel? Miguel? Okay, welcome. And what will you say? Miguel? Miguel, what will you say? Yan tayo eh. Si Miguel yata ang magsasum up ng ating lesson. Di nakikinig. Miguel, how are you?
You're welcome to.
Oh, Miguel, di ka talaga nakikinig. I'm welcome. Miguel, I told you, once you receive the question, you will ask your other classmates to know how they are. You will ask them too, how are you? Then you will call someone. Come on, Miguel. You will do the same thing. How are you? How are you?
How are you, Bon?
Bon? Von daw. How are you, Von?
Ma'am, natawag na yata ako,
Oh,
ma'am.
we have here a very lucky student who will sum up our lesson. Okay, Miguel, what you will do later after this class, isa-summarize mo ang ating lesson kung anong natutunan. Okay, dahil ikaw ay nakatawag ng dalawang pangalan. Pangalawang pangalan yung natawag mo. Okay, natawag na nung una si Von. Okay, so you will summarize our lesson for today. But anyway, so good job, good job. I hope you are all feeling well. So we are going to continue with our lesson, but this time we will be having a new topic, and that will be about viewing. Let me just ask, can you see the screen? Or can you see my screen? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. All right, good. Now, before we start with our lesson proper, I want you to familiarize yourselves with these five choices. We have the internet program. By the way, that is internet, or you could pronounce that also as internet. Movie, news flash. By the way, it is new, not new. News flash. Another, we have documentary and homemade videos, which you always see, especially in TikToks and YouTubes. All right. Now, we are going to find out. All right. So there are many kinds of viewing materials to be found everywhere. Lahat ng to ay napapanood ninyo. I do not know kung alin dito yung mas madalas ninyong mapanood. So, the posters and images below are some examples. So, this time, what you will do, you will identify what kind of viewed materials are they. Now, I want you to familiarize yourselves with this kasi wala na dito sa next slide. Okay, again, internet program, movie, newsflash, documentary, and homemade videos. You could write it on your notebook so you will remember these viewing materials. You could write it. I'll give you 5 seconds.
Mama, ano pong gagawin?
All right. Okay, again, you are going to write these choices first. Wala pa tayo sa activities mismo. Wala pa tayo sa activity, ha? You will write muna itong choices kasi later I'm going to show you some images. All right? Now you will just write these choices. Okay? 5 seconds. Okay. All right. Now, okay. Now this time you have here, you will be having 5 images. All right. 5 images here. Now you will identify what kind of viewing material are they. All right. So let's start with number 1. So look at the picture. It's TEDx Crest Park. So what do you think is that kind of viewing material? Anyone? Is it an internet program, a movie, a news flash, a documentary, or homemade videos? What is that? Anyone? Grace, what is that? Number 1. We are in number 1.
Internet program.
Internet program. Other answer?
Documentary, ma'am.
Okay, Ronel Angelo, that is correct. It's a documentary. It tells something about a topic and it gives us information. It gives us information and why you should learn that topic. Okay? We have number 2. I know that you are all familiar with 24 Oras. All right. So, what kind of viewing material is that? What kind of viewing material is that? Anyone? Miguel.
Lunch.
Again?
Ma'am,
Yes, Miguel.
news flash.
Okay, very good. So 24 Oras is obviously a news flash. It gives information about the current news in our country or around the globe. Next, this one. Funny Vines.
Homemade videos, ma'am.
Oh, who said that?
Ako po.
Who are you, ako po?
Bon, ma'am.
Okay, Vaughn. All right. Vaughn is correct. So number 3 is an example of a homemade video. Next, number 4, World War II in color. World War II in color. What is that?
Movie, ma'am.
Who said that?
Bon po.
Vaughn. Okay, Vaughn, that is correct. This is a movie. All right. What about next? Trolls. Trolls. What is
Movie
that?
din po. Movie din
Okay,
po.
very good, Von Robbie. Okay, now this time, let me just give you an idea that in viewing, all right, so we know that we are in this kind of era wherein it's very easy for us to access information through viewing. We could watch online rambulan, yung mga ganon, di ba? Is it a good thing to be watched? You know what online rambulan is, right? Is it a good video to be watched? Anyone?
No po.
No, it's not. All right? No, it's not. So here in our lesson, we are going to learn what are those viewing materials that are good and what are those viewing materials that are not good in terms of your level. So you will hear on this lesson MTRCB, which I know you are familiar with. Are you familiar with MTRCB? Type 2 if yes. Type 2 if yes. MTRCB. Okay. So later on, we are going to find out what that agency is. Now, let's continue with our lesson. Let's have an activity again. All right. So you are going to watch a video. All right. By the way, videos, whatever kind they are, always contain information. Alright? Meron ba kayong video na nakita? Well, there are some videos na sasabihin natin walang kwenta kasi parang wala ka namang information na nakikita. Right? But a lot of videos that you can see or that you can watch, they all contain information, whether it is bad or good. Alright? And the image below, by the way, the what do you call this? The link below came from a news and is one example of how viewing materials is filled with information. So nandito nakapaloob kung ano nga ba ang kahalagahan ng pag-view ng tama sa mga videos. All right? Now this is just a short article, then answer the questions given here. Before what do you call this? Before I play the video, I want you to familiarize yourselves with these questions so that you know kung ano ang titingnan ninyo sa article. Kung ano ang hahanapin sa article. First, okay? So we have the 5 W's or 4 W's here and the H. Now, the first is what? What happened as said in the article or video? Anong nangyari? What is it about? Where? Where did it happen? What's the setting? The place where it happened. When? When did the event happen? Kailan? Who? Who are the people involved in this event? Sino-sino ang mga taong nakapaloob or involved sa event na to? Kasama sa event na to. And last question, how did this event happen? How? So you are going to tell me the process. How did this event happen? All right, so I hope that your ears and eyes are ready for our presentation or for our article. Okay, so let's start. All right. Can you see the screen? Type 1 if yes. Can you see the screen? All right. Can you hear it? Just someone said can just somebody answer me? Can you hear me? I mean, can you hear the sound of the video?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. Let me just play it again. All right, play it again.
Hindi pa rin po naririnig.
Still burning up on the mountain.
Naririnig? No?
Hindi po.
Okay, wait for a second. Let me see. Okay. All right, so what about now?
Pa rin, ma'am.
Actually, the sound has, I mean, it's just the sound of like a woman speaking with how she reacts while she is looking at that kind of scene or scenario. Take a look at this. Parang sinasabi niya lang na, wow, this is very terrible. This is so huge. Okay, as you can see here, it was a very large fire. Okay, now this time you are going to, oh, wait for a second. All right. Hanapin ko lang ulit ha. Tingnan ko ulit ha. Wait lang. All right. Now, pwede bang basahin to ni? All right. Okay. This one. Oopsie. Oh, this one. Actually, this is the content of the article itself. Wait for a second. All right. So you already have seen what the event is, and then we're going to read. All right, read an information about that video. Take a look at this. Asan na ba ang Google Meet ko? All right. Okay, now can you see the screen? The presentation, the PowerPoint.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. All right, good. Now, this time, you're going to read silently the information about the video that you have watched. I'll give you 1 minute to read this. All right? So your time starts now. 10 seconds. All right, so let's start reading it aloud. Now, can anybody or can anyone please read the first paragraph? The first paragraph. Enzo, could you please read the first paragraph?
Thousands of people were evacuated from areas near the El
Dorado.
Dorado Fire, which was sparked on September 7 by a pyrotechnic device at a gender reveal party.
Okay, so thousands of people were evacuated from areas near the El Dorado fire, which was sparked on September 7 by a pyrotechnic device at a gender reveal party. So there was a party, and that is a gender reveal party, and there was a fire. All right. Next, what about Tricia? Next,
Ma'am?
Tricia, please read the second paragraph.
A couple expecting a baby decide to share the news of their child's sex by setting off a smoke bomb that would send plumes of pink or blue smoke in the meadows of El Dorado Ranch Park.
Okay, now everybody say plumes.
Plumes.
Okay, everybody say plumes. Okay, so this is not
Plumes.
plums, okay? This is not plums. It is plumes. Next, meadows. Meadows.
Meadows.
All right, so this is not meadow. All right, so a couple expecting a baby decided to share the news of their child's sex by setting off a smoke bomb that would send plumes of pink or blue smoke in the meadows of El Dorado Ranch Park. Now, what about the third paragraph? Can I hear it from Ronel?
California on September 7, 2020.
Unfortunately,
the smoke bomb set fire to the dry grass on the venue of their gender reveal party. The fire grew out of control, which eventually consumed 10,000
acres
of land and forced 20,000 people to evacuate.
Oh, by the way, this word is bomb. Bomb. Without pronouncing the b sound at the end of it. All right, everybody say bomb.
Bomb.
Okay. All right. Good. Anyway, so we are going to go back with the questions that I presented a while ago. So let us analyze that paragraph in that article. So what happened as said in the article or video? What happened? Anyone? What happened? We are talking about an incident happened on that article. Anyone? Okay, let me just call a name. All right, Trisha. Trisha, what happened?
Thousands of people were evacuated from near the El Dorado fire.
Okay.
Was sparked September
right.
7 by service at gender reveal party.
All right, so this one is the answer to our first question. So what happened as said in the article video? Anong nangyari? There was a fire. It was called an El Dorado fire. All right, so very good, Trisha. Good job. Now let's move on to our next question. Where did the event happen? Again, where did the event happen or saan? Saan daw nangyari yung event na yon? Anyone?
Ma'am.
Okay, Von. Von this time.
El Dorado Ranch Park, ma'am.
All right, very good. It's El Dorado Ranch Park. All right. That is why it is called an El Dorado fire, because most of the places there in El Dorado was on fire during that time. So, all right. So very good, Von. All right, let's change the color of this. All right. Next question. Next question is when did the event happen? Kailan daw nangyari yung event na
Ma'am.
yun? Yes.
September 7, 2020.
It was Mhm.
September 7, 2020.
All right, very good. September 7, 2020. All right, let me just change the color. All right, good job. By the way, who answered that?
Ronel po.
Ronel, very good, Ronel. Now let's move on to our fourth question. Who are the people involved in this event? Again, who are the people involved in this event? Anyone? Who? Sino daw? Anyone? Kumbaga sa story, ito yung characters involved. Alright? So who are the persons involved or people involved?
Ma'am.
Yes, Dennis?
A couple expecting a baby.
Okay, very good. So a couple expecting a baby. A couple. That's why if you can hear the video, there was a woman and a man talking. All right, so it was the couple. All right, very good. Very good, very good. Next is, let's move on to our final question. How did this event happen? Paano nga ba nagkaroon or sumiklab ang sunog sa El Dorado? How did this event happen? Can anyone please tell me?
By setting off a smoke.
Grace, what is that again?
By setting off a smoke.
By? Come on, speak clearly.
By setting off a smoke.
Setting off a smoke.
Bomb.
All right. And also, okay, it has something to do with the smoke. Unfortunately, the smoke bomb set fire to the grass on the venue of their gender reveal party. All right. That is why it becomes large fire, a massive fire. All right. Very good. Now, did you understand? All right. Did you understand the article here? Type 2 if yes. Type 2 if yes. Okay, again, type 2 if yes. All right, very good. One Robbie, could you please turn off your mic? Okay. All right, so I hope every one of you has understood what this article is about. Now, this is how you understand a text. All right. Again, as what I've told you a while ago, a video or any videos give us information, and in this case, this article or this video has given us information about El Dorado fire and when it happens or when it happened and how it happened. So these all 5 questions. If you answered all these 5 questions, the answers to these questions are the information that are relevant. Okay? When we say relevant, that means important. Okay? I hope everything is clear. Now, viewing is one of the macro skills that you need to master. Hindi lang tayo nood ng nood. We need to choose what we are viewing, what we are watching. Is it appropriate with my level? Is this video good for me? Can this video give information? Can it, all right? Can it give my brain or my mind information that is relevant to my life? Importante ba ang nakukuha akong information dito sa pinapanood ko? That is why I told you a while ago that you need to be very, very careful with those videos that you are watching, especially TikToks. TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, nagliparan, alright? Lahat yan, lahat ng mga site na nabanggit ko, lahat yan, karamihan, may mga videos, especially YouTube, alright? Because it's a video application or it's a video site, alright? But not all videos in that site are good. And not all videos that you can see in Facebook or TikTok are good sa inyo. Alright? That is why we have here MTRCB. Okay? Ang MTRCB, anyone, kung anong idea ninyo kung ano yung MTRCB na tinatawag? Anyone? MTRCB. What is MTRCB? Anyone? Anong meaning ng MTRCB? I have given you your lecture beforehand. I have given your lecture before our class, so I assume that you already have scanned or read the lecture. So what is MTRCB? Kung sino ang makakasagot, may +5 sa akin. +5? Anyone? Hala, wala yata nagbukas ng binigay kong lecture ha. Enzo, would you like to answer? What is the meaning of MTRCB? Ano yung MTRCB? What does MTRCB stand for?
Movie, television, review, and classification.
Ayun, alam naman pala eh. So it is movie and television review and classification board. So what is MTRCB? It is a government agency that is responsible for the review and classification of television, movies, and publicity materials. That is why halos ang mga napapanood ninyo sa TV or television, wala kayong makikita dyan na nagmumura. Wala kayong nakikita dyan na super X-rated. Wala kayong nakikita ng ganon. Because it's the job of MTRCB to review, classify, kung para kanino yung mga movies or videos na ma-i-air sa television. Especially sa movies din. Okay? That's why you will hear the sound and then this portion is rated PG. Patnubay at gabay ng magulang ay kailangan. So, if that is rated PG, that means viewers 13 years below should be accompanied by a responsible adult. So, that means you cannot watch that alone. Alright? An adult should accompany you so that if there are words na hindi nyo alam or medyo taboo or let's say hindi magandang pakinggan, which was reviewed din naman by the MTRCB, your parent could explain that to you. All right? And if that is rated G, that means it's appropriate for all ages. Okay? Can you give me a movie that is rated G? That means it is appropriate for all ages. Anyone? Name one movie or let's say palabas sa telebisyon na alam ninyong rated G. Yung It's Showtime. It's Showtime. Sa tingin niyo, anong nun, classification? Is it rated G, PG?
PG, ma'am.
Okay, very good. It is rated PG because you should be accompanied by a responsible adult. All right. So what about, let's say, ano pa ba? Coco Melon? All right. Ano ba yung mga palabas sa ano ngayon? Sa television ngayon? Hindi kasi ako ma-TV eh. All right. Can you give me Superbook? Yes, very good. Superbook. That is rated.
Yan ang lola ko, ma'am.
Again?
Daig kayo ng lola ko.
Daig kayo ng lola ko. Diba? Yun ba yun?
Opo.
Okay, all right. Oh, let's move on with the Superbook first. Sinong may alam dito ng Superbook?
Opo.
Okay, Superbook, for those people who know, or for those people who do not know what Superbook is, it is a story of the life of two kids na napunta sa time ni Jesus. All right? Am I right? Am I right, Von?
Opo.
Okay, and it actually, this Superbook, this program teaches us a lot of lessons. So, Von, if you are the MTRCB, how will you classify it? Is it G, PG?
G po.
Okay, that is rated G, or it is appropriate for all viewers, whether you are 1 year old up to matanda. Kahit si lolo at lola pwedeng manood. Okay? What else? Bigay kayo ng program.
Brigada, ma'am.
Brigada. Ayun ba yun?
Opo.
Okay. All right. So, Brigada, that's a news flash, right? News flash. Now, how will you classify that? Brigada.
PG pa rin po.
PG pa rin. Okay, very good. Because there are issues that should be explained to you by an adult. Alright? Kasi hindi naman lahat ng mga bagay-bagay ay dapat or hindi lahat po ay alam na ninyo. Okay? So there are issues pa rin that you need, that your parent should explain to you. Anyway, so tapos na tayo sa television. What about videos or YouTube? Ito si Makaganda saka si Makagwapo. Are you familiar with Makaganda and Makagwapo?
Opo.
Oh, yes. Yes. All right. Now, please look at the classification of MTRCB. So, please open your lecture. Open your lecture. Meron dito rated G for all level. Rated PG, viewers 13 years old should be accompanied by a responsible adult. R13, it should not be watched by 30 years old and below. R16 should not be watched by 60 years old and below. R18 should not be watched by 18 years old and below. Now, Makaganda and Makagwapo videos, how will you classify that?
Depende, ma'am.
Okay, can you please explain?
Kasi po, depende na po sa manonood kung gusto po nila.
All right. It depends on the viewers.
It depends on the viewers.
Okay, what's the content of Makaganda and Makagwapo's videos?
Scripted, ma'am.
Scripted, or I actually watched one of their videos, and I think those um those people who are 18 years old and below should not watch that. And magugulat na lang ako, napanood nyo yun? Napanood nyo? So, if I were the MTRCB, I will rate that or I will classify that as R18 kasi 'di ba? Yung kung ano-ano ang pinapakita ng makaganda dun eh, which is very parang revealing. So I think it should be R18, and I was surprised. I mean, I'm not surprised that you have watched it because it's Facebook, it's YouTube. Hindi nasakop ng MTRCB yan. The point is, it's your responsibility naman. Alright? Tapos na si MTRCB sa responsibility niya sa television, sa movies. Now, in terms of Facebook, in terms of TikTok, in terms of YouTube, it's your responsibility to watch what is good for you and what is bad for you. Now, what should you watch? What should you watch? Ano ang dapat yung pinapanood? Anyone? What should you watch then? If that is your responsibility, then what should you watch? Anyone? Or are you watching all of these videos? Kung ano yung ma-click ninyo, you watch it. Kung ano yung nakita nyo may nakalabas na kung ano-ano, then you will click it because it's revealing. Sexy si babae. Ang macho ni lalaki. So, is that what you mean? So, how will you or what should you watch then? Anyone?
K-pop.
Ayaw tayo sa BTS. Okay. Again?
K-pop, ma'am.
All right. Actually, there's nothing wrong.
Barbie.
Okay, some people or some students might sarcastically say, okay, I will just watch Barbie or I will just watch Cocomelon.
Yaman, ma'am.
Cocomelon. All right. So what I'm trying to say is that you have to choose the right video for you. If you know that this video will not give you relevant information, then you should not take time or spend time watching it. Instead, do something else. Now, there's a parent yesterday, all right? There's a parent yesterday na sabi, ma'am, yung anak ko, by the way, it's from the other grade level, okay? Ma'am, yung anak ko, bakit ganun? Ang dami-dami namang time, pero hindi matapos-tapos yung kanyang module. Then I asked that woman, I asked her, ano bang ginagawa niya? Nandun po ba kayo sa tabi niya? And then that woman said, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And then, at sabi ko, anong ginagawa? Ma'am, nagfi-Facebook, nagti-TikTok, nag-YouTube. Sabi naman niya, kasama daw yun sa, what do you call this? Kasama daw yun sa module nila. But then, sabi niya ganun, nakikita ko yung mga sumasayo ng binibini, mga gumaganon. Kasama po ba yun, ma'am? And then I was shocked knowing that yung binibini na pinapanood na sa mga TikToks, it was not actually related to our lesson. Now, what my point here is that nawawala ang time ninyo sa studies because sinasamahan ng ibang gawain. Like, panonood ng TikTok, pag-share, pag-nanood ng videos sa Facebook, YouTube, wala na. Alright? Instead of doing something that is relevant, wala na. Okay? Buti sana kung if that video has something to do with our lesson. Alright? You know what I mean? You know my point, right? So, what I'm trying to say is that viewing is a macro skill. All right, viewing is a macro skill that you need to master. You need to choose which video you will watch, whether it is good or bad. All right, so you need to analyze the video if that is relevant or important sa buhay mo. Okay? Again, as what I've told you, videos should have information. Videos should give you information. Okay? Now, if you are done with everything, and then you could, spend time, but not 24 hours, not 10 hours in TikTok, not 12 hours in Facebook. All right? Baka nga meron dyan habang nagkaklase tayo, nag-Facebook eh. Alright? Kaya nga I told you to open your camera so I could see you. Alright? So I could see you. So again, I hope that you learn, alright, that you learn my point here. And you learn the meaning or the message of this lesson that we need to choose, alright? We need to choose what we should watch. Again, those videos that are relevant to us. Okay? Anyway, so we are going to have an activity here. All right? So this is just a vocabulary enrichment. All right? So these are some of the words that I have given you on your lecture. So I hope that you have read the lecture. Okay, so let's see. So number 1, defined as the category of artistic, musical, or literary composition characterized by a particular form, style, or content. So what is that? Could you please tell me what that is? Ano yung dinedefine niya dyan?
Genre, ma'am.
Okay, so everybody, kahit naka-turn off ang mic, everybody say genre.
Genre.
Okay, one more time. Genre.
Genre.
All right. Okay, now you know. Baka mula nung grade 4 to 6 ninyo, genre ang bigkas nyo, ha? All right. Next, number 2, text with rhyme and rhythm. What is that? Text with rhyme and rhythm. Again?
Poetry.
Okay, who answered?
Ako po, ma'am.
Okay, Trisha. Trisha, very good. That is poetry. Now, number 3, text that uses paragraphs and tells a story. What is that?
Fiction, ma'am.
Fiction. All right. Okay. Next. Next. Oh, by the way, text that uses paragraphs and tells a story, although fiction also tells a story. All right. Number 3 is fiction. Let me check kasi pwede rin siyang prose. All right. Actually, yeah, I told you it is a prose. Okay? Prose. It is a prose. Okay? It is a text that uses paragraphs and tells a story. Now we have here another definition of fiction and nonfiction. Now we will find it out. Number 4, it is intended to be performed. What is that? Intended to be performed. What is that? Anyone?
Drama, ma'am.
Again? Who said that?
Drama.
Okay, very good. Who said that? Who answered? Sino nagsagot?
Dennis.
Okay, Dennis. All right. Next. Next is, these are stories, or it means stories that are imaginary.
Fiction, ma'am.
Again?
Non-fiction.
Sinong nagsabi ng non-fiction? Again,
Ako po,
stories that are imaginary. Ibig sabihin, the characters, the events are made up. Ibig sabihin, gawa-gawa, invento lang. Anyone? Is it non-fiction?
Fiction po.
Okay, so
Fiction, ma'am.
All right, very good. That is a fiction. And last, it is or it means stories that actually happened. That means um, it could be an article, a biography. So that means it is not made up. Hindi to gawa-gawa. Totoong nangyari. Totoo yung character. Stories that actually happened. What is that?
Non-fiction, ma'am.
Okay, very good. So that is nonfiction. All right. Anyway, so on our next module, all right, on our next module, you will find these words, and you're going to learn it by yourselves. All right. So I want you to understand what these words are. So I have given you a sneak preview of what you will be having on our next module. But then, all right, who will sum up our lesson? Who will sum up our lesson? Sino?
Miguel.
Miguel? Miguel? All right. Anyway, so before we end, we will be having an assessment. Okay, so you're going to tell me if it's true or false. Okay.
Okay.
Again, you're going to tell me if it's true or false. So listen carefully. Number one, just listen. There are 6 macro skills. Again, there are 6 macro skills. Who would like to answer? Is it true or false? Are there 5? I mean, are there 6 macro skills?
False.
False, Trisha? So what is the right answer?
7.
Sobrang kadami naman talaga ng 7?
5, ma'am.
Okay,
5.
who said 5?
Ako po. Bon, ma'am.
Okay, Vaughn, very good. So, nice try, Trisha. So, but the answer is, but the answer should be 5. There are only 5 macro skills, and those are, Von Robbie, could you please tell us what are those 5 macro skills? Von, could you please tell us what are those 5 macro skills? Von?
Wait lang, ma'am. Inisip ko lang po.
Okay. Who would like to give the 5 macro skills?
Ma'am,
Yes. Yes, po.
receive,
Again,
um,
say the 5 macro skills are. Say the 5 macro skills are.
the 5 macros are
Are.
examine, enter,
Uh-huh. Are you sure? It is on your lecture. It is on your lecture. I have given you the lecture. What are the 5 macro skills? And we discussed one macro
Ma'am,
skill, and that is
Ako, ma'am.
yeah.
Reading.
The 5
Right.
macro skills are.
The 5 macro skills are reading, writing, listening, speaking, and viewing po.
And what did we discuss today?
Viewing po.
Okay, so we discussed viewing. All right. So again, we only have 5 macro skills, and those are reading, writing, listening, speaking, and viewing, which are those skills that you need to master in English. All right. Next is what What's the next thing? Viewing is a macro skill. Listen. Number 2. Viewing is a macro skill that can be practiced by viewing a visual image. Again, viewing is a macro skill that can be practiced by viewing a visual image.
True.
That is true. Who said that?
Ako po, ma'am.
All right. Trisha, right?
Opo.
Okay. All right. Nakikilala ko na yung mga boses ninyo. All right. Anyway, number 3. You can interpret information with visual images. Ibig sabihin, may mga meaning daw yung mga visual images. Is it true or false? You can
True, ma'am.
interpret
True.
information.
True po.
True.
Okay, very good. You can interpret information with visual images. You can get information by just looking at the image. All right, without reading anything, without texts. By just looking at the visual image, you can get information. All right, next, a comedy genre is often funny.
True.
True, ma'am.
True.
Okay, all right. Very good. Next is a horror genre often has stories about a romantic couple. Again,
False, ma'am.
false. All right. What's the correct answer? A horror movie or a horror genre has stories about
Horrors.
about about okay.
Scary.
Alright.
ma'am.
Scary things or ghosts, 'di ba? Anything or anything that is horrific, horrifying. That is why it is called horror. Horror. Horrifying. So if something is horrifying, that means it is parang nakakatakot. All right? Horrifying, horrific. All right? Next is number 6. You may determine the kind of viewing materials by their genre. Again, you may determine the kind of viewing materials by their genre.
True, ma'am.
True. Okay, good. Who said that?
Von po.
Von Robbie again. Ayan, malapit ng kumota si Von, ha? Next, MTRCV can only be seen in TV series. Again, MTRCV can only be seen in TV series. True or false?
False, ma'am.
False.
False. Enzo.
False po.
Enzo. Yes, very good. Enzo, why it is false?
Kasi po, meron po.
Yung may movie rin daw, ma'am.
Because it can also seen. It can also be seen in
Movies, ma'am.
movies. Again, who would like to say that sentence? Because it can only anyone? Ala, wala nang nag-open. Kanina ang dami. Okay, sabihin nyo, because it can also be seen in movies. Anyone? Hello.
Ma'am.
Yes, Von.
Because it also,
It can also be seen.
Because it can also be seen in movies.
All right. Okay. Again, you need to practice constructing sentences or you need to practice answering in English. Kahit yung mga simple English lang, ha? Number 8, you at age 13 are allowed to watch R16 materials. You at age 13.
False.
False. Who said that? Grace?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Grace. Oh, sige. Grace na lang muna tayo. Grace. So, what should you watch if you are age or if you are 13?
I'll be watch on my.
I'll be watching. I should watch.
I should watch 12 rated videos.
Again,
I should be watch.
I should watch
I should watch 12 rated videos.
All right. Or in other terms, or in MTRCB's classification, it should be PG. Am I right? Am I right?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Next is, let's have number 9, last two. Audience should be responsible with what they watch. Again, audience like you should be responsible with what you watch.
True.
True, ma'am.
True. Okay, so I hope that at the end of this lesson, you will be able to be responsible in selecting, filtering those videos that you will watch, or yung mga videos na makikita ninyo. Select. And number 10, last one. Documentary is a viewed material that has factual content. Factual, that means facts. It has facts. It gives you facts. Katotohanan. Number 10. Is it true or false?
True, ma'am.
True.
True po.
All right, very good. It is true. All right. Anyway, so is everything clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I
Yes,
hope.
ma'am.
All right, good, good, good. And if ever you are still confused of these, or for today's topic, you could watch that sa ating video. Isa-send ko sa inyo yung video natin, no? Send ko sa inyo para ma-review niyo yung lesson natin. Okay? Anyone? I mean, do you have any more questions before we go? By the way, 10:30 or 11:30, I will post your classwork. It will be like 20 items lang naman, and on our day 2, you will be having another module. All right, another module to answer. Okay, so who will summarize our lesson? Who will summarize? Sino magsa-summarize ulit? Nakalimutan ko eh. Sino yung taya?
Si Miguel.
Miguel.
Miguel. Taya. Miguel
po.
ang taya. Miguel. Si Miguel, nasan siya? Umalis? Alam niya. Anyway, who would like to sum up our lesson for today? Just tell me what you have learned. Anyone? Sum up. I thought you do not have any more questions. Kasi clear na. Why you can't even tell me what you have learned? Anyone? Hala, ang tahimik ng ating Google Classroom. Amber! Hindi ko pa narinig yung boses mo, Amber. Amber! Amber, biglang na siraan ng audio. Amber? Amber? Hala. Amber? Parang di naman ano ha. Amber, could you please open your camera? Amber, parang nag-Facebook ka na dyan ha. Heart de la Cruz. What about Heart? What have you learned? Just tell me something that you have learned. Just one thing that you have learned. Heart? Hala? Heart. Shy type kayo, no? Super shy type. Hindi niyo ako gayahin. Anyway, Dennis Benavides. Benavides. Ayaw niyo talaga. Dennis? Dennis? Yung mga hindi nagsasalita, i-absent ko yan, ha? I-absent ko yan. Baka nagpe-Facebook na kayo, nag-YouTube na kayo, o kaya gumagawa na kayo ng video ng TikTok. Grace Joy? Amiel? Yung new classmate nyo, si Enzo. Hala. Enzo? Enzo? Enzo?
Ma'am.
Okay, buti naman may nag-open ng mic. Pakatahimik pagdating ng... Okay, what have you learned for today's lesson, Enzo?
Viewing, ma'am.
Viewing? Can you please tell me something about viewing? Tell me something about viewing, Enzo. Arvon, would you like to say something?
Ano po? MTRCB po.
MTRCB, you also learned about MTRCB. You learned about viewing. All right. Again, when you are viewing videos or when you are watching videos, you always have to ask yourself if it's relevant or not, if it is important or not. Okay? Anyway, so if you do not have any more questions, so please wait for your class work or for your activity that will be posted on our class or Google Classroom. All right, so if wala nang question, thank you for coming and goodbye. Have a good day.
Thank you, ma'am.
All
Bye,
right.
ma'am.
Bye
Wala naman
po.
palang
Bye-bye
audio
po.
eh. May audio pala, oh.
Thank
Okay.
you, ma'am.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
May mga audios pala tong mga to. Bye-bye.